Hurra!
Hurra, yeah. Yeah, you can read. Yeah.
Wir leben noch.
Yeah. Yeah. Genau.
I worked in Nairobi as a DW correspondent for about 5 months, and then I was offered the position to come and be in Berlin. And the offer came at a time when I was really falling in love with the continent. I was rediscovering myself as an African. I was asking a lot of questions about why we do things the way we do, and also realizing that I didn't know much about the continent. But after a lengthy conversation with them, going back and forth, we agreed on a hybrid where I would still go back and collect stories and stay in touch with the continent, which I was still falling in love with, and be here in Berlin and become a sort of representative, not for all Africans, but at least be a face.
I'm Edith Kimani. Welcome to the program.
You know, diversity is so important, and as a young African, hearing every day from people who are watching me to say, it's so good to see an African there, it's so good to see a black face, it's so good to see your hair like this. Representation matters, and it matters more than you can imagine. It was a steep learning curve, you know, understanding that while I might know what's happening in Uganda and why it's important, it doesn't necessarily translate for someone who's watching me from Delhi or from Prague. So that was the biggest shift for me, understanding how to communicate what I know for a global audience without dumbing it down too much for the local people.
Have a good day.
The station that I used to work for, the Kenya Television Network, it was the first private TV network in Kenya. So they were looking for younger, fresh talent. And so they decided, why not have a reality show for it? Kind of like The Apprentice, where instead of winning $1 million, you win a job. And, you know, at the time I had just finished high school. I was waiting, hoping for a scholarship to go to university in the UK. And then I was in the top 10 and I realized, oh, wow, I could actually win this. And then I did. And I was 19 and I thought, I have a job. What do I do with this? And that's sort of how it started.
Hey guys, it's an Inception Insta story. I'm filming myself being filmed. How cool is that? And it's really, really cold today.
Coming to visit 1 or 2 times, you know, you're here for training for a few weeks and then you go back home, that's okay. And then realizing, oh, I have to move here. And I moved in January.
The sun feels so good.
I was so cold, I was so sad, I was so lonely because I didn't know anyone, and I didn't speak German. Little things like I had a headache once and I called my mom and I was crying, I was bawling my eyes out because I said, I don't even know what a pharmacy is called. And even when I get to the pharmacy, how do I explain that I have a headache? And it was basically a month of non-stop crying. Yeah. And then once I got settled in the office, it was easier for me to settle in my social life.
You know what? I feel at home. I always joke that it's my office, but it really is my office. This is where I feel most comfortable. I've been working in and out of different studios for about 8 years now. I think it's even 9. Next year will be 10. So I really like the atmosphere. I like being able to fill the room with my personality. And also because I know that there's an entire team somewhere making sure that everything works out okay. I really like it. I really love it, actually. I really do. There's no such thing as a normal day, not just at DW, I think just in general as a journalist. I don't see it as a disadvantage. Do I wish I could spend holidays, every single holiday away? Of course. Do I wish I had all my weekends free? Absolutely. But it's a job I asked for and this is what it comes with, so c'est la vie. Oh, there's always adrenaline. There's always adrenaline, especially when that countdown is happening. you're like 5 seconds to go. Yes! Imagine being in a boxing ring, just moving up and down, waiting for that bell to go. That's what it feels like internally. And I just love it. I don't think there's anything else I can say to best describe it, because it's a very unique feeling. You're alone in a studio with these robotic cameras just moving towards you, but it's such a great feeling. Yeah. And of course the glam. Who doesn't want to be sat on a makeup chair for a good 30 minutes just being made to look pretty? That's fun. Yeah. I always say being on TV is a precarious business. People are inviting you into their home at the most intimate moments. In the morning as they're having breakfast and preparing to go to work. In the evening just after they have dinner and they're settling down, and you're telling them what's happening. So you're their guest every night, and so they feel like they know you personally. So that's one of the reasons why people want to follow you, and also for information. It's a little community. You just go in, type KOT, and you see all the stupid things that Kenyans are saying, or all the important things that they're talking about. And yeah, it's just the perfect example of how globalization can be great through social media. I'm sitting right here, but as soon as I open my phone and log on to Twitter, I feel like I'm in the heart of Nairobi. Thank you for watching.
Turi 2 TV, das Branchenfernsehen.